welcome to the channel, and today we'll be talking about the Ikko Opal OH2. And this was sent out by HiFiGo, and they are not asking me to say or do anything other than my honest opinion regarding these IEMs. And they are kind of fun, to be honest. So let's dive into it. Actually, real quick. So these have this funky little character on there, and it actually has a magnet that came with it as well. So it's like a magnet sticker with that same artwork. And the daughter saw it and was like, yoink, mine. So, and then also with the color of these, she loves them, so she kept trying to grab them. So I thought that was pretty funny. These lovely things are purple, so I instantly already am a fan. The cable I have with them is actually an aftermarket purple cable that was recommended to me a long time ago by Android from Audio Discourse, and so it actually pairs like almost perfectly color-wise with these, and it's fantastic. Which leads me into kind of these IEMs build and all that fun stuff. The cable that it came with is it sucks. It's god-awful. It has that very, I'm trying to untangle it here, but it's just kind of a janky mess, and it's very short, which not a big deal because it's usually you're in your pocket or it's on like another device, what have you. But I mean, it's not bad, but it's pretty horrible. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of janky, and it's not my favorite thing in the world. So yeah, that's that. Anyhow, into the build. I'm actually pretty stoked on it. It actually, for as far as like the build and aesthetics and the way it looks, it's really cool because it has like these really cool metal plates, but then there's this clear plastic part that kind of accentuates through it, and it actually shows like the circuit board and the driver, and really cool. I really like that a lot. The overall size of these is tiny. Like, they're just really small. You know, they go in the ear really easily without being any problem at all. Pop right in, and they're so light that I don't even realize that they're kind of like there as much. Easy to take in and out. The other thing that's unique about these is actually the IEM tips are actually kind of shaped, and actually the nozzle as well, they have an oval shape, so you have to be aware of that. So if you want to get aftermarket tips or what have you, it might be a little bit harder because of that shape. But once again, these are pretty cheap, so I wouldn't imagine that being a big deal, because why would you, I don't know. I don't think it's really worth getting aftermarket tips. Just use the ones in here. The ones that come with these, 3 sets of foamies, and 6 sets of different of the tips, of the kind of silicone tips. Going into the overall, I guess, aesthetics, love it. Actually really love the aesthetics. I think it's fantastic. Build quality is, aluminum and plastic, but it's so light and small that it's not a big deal. I actually was really impressed with how long I could keep these in my ears, and I'm assuming it's because they're so small and light. Personally, as far as comfort and fit and aesthetics, build overall is pretty fantastic, at least for me, and I really dig on that, minus the cable. So on to sound. This is where I actually was kind of impressed. I wasn't expecting much from these. The chain I'll be using for my demo real quick is I'm actually just gonna be using my iPhone with the iFi Griffin, and this thing is fantastic, the Griffin. From my iPhone, I'll be using Qobuz. Right off the bat, I will say this is actually a rather enjoyable listen. It's more warm, it's bassy, upper mids and highs, when not compared to something exponentially better, like say my Unique Melody Mest, which I'm also using a similar cable with. It's pretty good. They're a little bit muddy comparatively, and the detail and imaging is good, but it's not to that level of like the Mest or something higher level. But it's, for the price and the value, it's just an easy listen. I was actually pretty impressed at how engaging it was listening with these. These were actually fun, and actually, though, I think because of how light they are and how easy they were in the ear, without it being a problem, I didn't get discomfort over a long period of time, that I actually really enjoyed these. Jumping into some music, let's start with, I'm thinking we'll do Milky Chance. So Milky Chance, Tainted Love first, because that's a fun bassy track. Okay, so bass definitely is the shine here. It's a very fun, bassy, boomy, thumpy kind of sound. It's not the most vocal forward track, so take that into account, but the vocals were lovely. I really liked them. Thought that was kind of a fun listen. So let's do something more vocal forward, acoustic forward. Let's do Vincent by Susan Wong. Should be a fun one. So Vincent by Susan Wong. Okay, so with this one, you could definitely tell that the imaging is pretty good, but the detail isn't quite as good as something, say, like the Unique Melody Master or anything higher. Like the mouth pops when she's breathing and certain things like that, it's not as accentuated, and it's more just easy, mellow kind of sound, and rolled off kind of mids, upper mids, and highs. But overall, the tonal, I really like the tonal balance of it. I really like the way everything kind of plays through. I'm having a hard time finding fault with them, if that makes sense, especially for the price point. These are pretty darn good. So next track we'll do is Signal and the Noise, GoGo Penguin, because everyone knows. If you don't know, now you know. It's one of my go-to tracks to test stuff with. Since these are IEMs, actually, I don't know why I don't talk while listening. You probably can't hear the music, but so it's going. I will say, like, the imaging is pretty good, but the in the hi-hats and the splash and stuff like that is good. The detail is pretty good, but it does feel withdrawn, like it's a little bit further back than I'd like from other signatures that I've heard with other IEMs or headphones. But the overall, like, just listening, it's easy. Like, it's an enjoyable, easy, fun listen. Like, I could easily listen to these IEMs and just be relaxing, walking around, or even just at a coffee shop or anywhere, or even just here at home or what have you, like downstairs, or, you know, if I just wanted to relax someplace, or even go outside and relax. These are pretty fantastic without having to be picking anything apart. They're just an easy, fun listen. Oof. Yeah, and I would say the biggest thing is the detail isn't the best. Imaging's okay. Stage is, I mean, it's IEM, so like they're in your head, but it's pretty decent. Like, it does feel like there's a nice little stage there to it, but it's not gonna be, you know, something massive or crazy. Oh man, that piano, it lingers well. The piano notes linger really well. Yeah, I can dig it. It's pretty good, pretty fun. All right, for the price, honestly, I recommend these. These are actually one of the first ones outside of the CCA CRA that I actually enjoyed enough to where I'm like, huh, maybe I should get a set or what have you. Those are actually really fun. And then I also did a quick little play test because people always ask me randomly, you know, how does it do with gaming? Tested out with Returnal for the PlayStation 5, and I was running around having fun with that. Surprisingly did pretty good. Like, I mean, it wasn't giving me the exact best detail and imaging that you'd want, but because of that low end and because of the warmth of it, I felt it had a nice, engaging, fun sound signature for playing maybe like a single player game, or playing casually, or having a good time playing like action game, even a shooter, but just maybe more casually, or like a single player or cooperative kind of play style. It was fun. I really dug on those, actually. And then it powered just fine off of the controller itself, so I just plugged right into the controller. Thought that was kind of fun. So does it game? I think for non-competitive stuff, for sure. And maybe it could work for competitive if you're okay with maybe losing some imaging and detail and you're not going to be able to, you know, pick everything apart. But for what it is, it's decent, I think, for competitive. But I don't know. I'm not a competitive gamer, so I don't know. So end of the day, my thoughts and feelings on these. I actually really dug these, to be honest. I'm actually surprised how good these are for what they are, and just the enjoyment I got out of these. I dug these. These are fun to listen to, and they're easy, and I really like the aesthetics of them. The whole overall package, especially for the price, I'm impressed. For me, I'd rather take these out than my Nest or something expensive on like a trip or something like that. These get me there without having to be stressed about something that's super expensive out and about and running around. These do the job, and I think that's another factor. And they look cool. I mean, if you like purple, I think they come in a bunch of different colors and what have you, but yeah, I dig these. I think these are definitely getting a wreck for me. And with that, I will let everyone have the rest of the day back, and I will catch you all in the next one. Cheers.